They did not hit the Louvre at night, quietly. They came in daylight where anyone could see, and one crown was left behind on the floor, surrounded by glass. On Sunday morning, the Louvre was open like a normal day in Paris. Visitors moved through the galleries, while staff worked quietly beside the displays. Inside the Galerie d'Apollon, royal jewels waited behind glass and bright lights. Then the calm broke. A vehicle with a mounted lift arrived outside the museum. The men looked like workers, not movie thieves. That was the trick. They wore high-visibility work clothes, moved in daylight, and used a lift that could pass as ordinary Paris maintenance equipment. The platform rose toward an upper window. From there, two men reached the balcony, forced the glass, and entered the Galerie d'Apollon. The whole robbery lasted less than 8 minutes. Inside the museum itself, they had about 4 minutes. 4 minutes to break the window, reach the cases, cut into the displays, take the royal jewels, and get back out. They did not wander. They did not improvise. They went straight for 2 display cases, took the pieces they wanted, and left. Outside, 2 accomplices were waiting on scooters. During the escape, one crown, once belonging to Empress Eugénie, was dropped and left behind. The rest of the haul vanished. That gave investigators a chain to rebuild. Cameras, vehicles, scooters, timing, and every place where the crew might have made a mistake. And they did make mistakes. Police recovered tools, gloves, helmets, and other objects connected to the operation. Investigators collected fingerprints and DNA. One DNA trace was linked to a helmet left at the scene. Other traces were linked to the display case, the lift truck, and objects used during the escape. That is when the story stopped looking like a perfect museum heist. It started looking like a rushed job by people who were bold enough to try it, but not clean enough to disappear. The first major arrest happened at Charles de Gaulle Airport. A suspect was stopped while trying to board a flight to Algeria. Another suspect was arrested near Paris, in Seine-Saint-Denis. Later, more people were detained, questioned, released, or charged as investigators tried to separate the crew from the possible support network around them. Some suspects partially admitted involvement, others denied it. Prosecutors suggested the robbery did not look like the work of elite international art thieves, but more like local criminals who found a simple weakness and used it brutally. But that raised the most interesting question of the case. If the men caught by police were not elite masterminds, then who pointed them at the jewels? Theory 1, there was a private buyer. Someone rich enough to order royal objects that could never be shown publicly, only hidden in a private collection. Theory 2, the jewels were never meant to stay whole. The crew may have been hired to steal famous pieces so they could be dismantled, with diamonds and emeralds removed, gold melted, and the original history destroyed. Theory 3, the robbery was planned by someone close to the criminal world, not necessarily inside the museum, but someone who understood the timing, the weak camera coverage, the lift, the route, and the resale problem before the men ever arrived. None of these theories has been proven, but all of them point to the same fear. The people who climbed into the Louvre may not have been the people who truly wanted the jewels. That is why the missing pieces matter more than the arrests. If the jewels are still intact, they are almost impossible to sell openly. If they have already been broken apart, the crime changes forever. A royal tiara becomes loose stones. A historic necklace becomes gold and diamonds. A national treasure becomes material. Interpol added the stolen items to its international database, but so far, the missing jewels have not been recovered. So the Louvre heist ends with a strange picture. Arrests, DNA, tools, scooters, a failed escape attempt at the airport, and one damaged crown left behind. But the most important evidence is still missing. Who ordered the job? Who was waiting for the jewels? And where are they now?